You don't want to laugh at somebody and kick somebody when they're down. I just didn't like that.
Jalen, your Indiana Pacers team were in some very contentious series, we'll call it. Like, would you guys have discussions about any sort of retaliation?
Yes.
What would it sound like? What would you plan on?
Here's what you would do. Easy. When they're going on the run for a shot, for example, Dale will foul him once, and on the same play, Antonio will come and whack him on the same play. Because they only would call it one time.
Would it be premeditated?
Of course.
How often would these discussions occur?
All of the time.
Really?
Easy. Think about the teams we were playing against. We were playing against Mike Scotty, but then they had Rodman, okay? We were playing against Spree and Allen Houston and Patrick Ewing, but they had Oakley and Mason. So, like, that is the fiber of the game. Like, going against Philly, they had Dikembe Mutombo. And so, like, this is embedded in what happens, the physicality of the game. And I do anticipate the Nets are going to take that moment personally.
Yep. And Joel Embiid, he mixes it up. Like, he's been involved in a lot of hold me back moments. Like, nothing crazy, but like he's been involved in a lot of them in his short career.
Eric Bledsoe this year with the ball throwing incident.
Jared Dudley had some criticism of Ben Simmons' game. He said, quote, Ben Simmons is a great player in transition, and once you get him in the half court, he's average. Interesting criticism coming from Jared Dudley. Now, Ben Simmons heard about this and was like, oh, that's just Jared Dudley. Jalen, what do you think about this criticism of Ben Simmons?
One of the life traits that I try to embody and mature with is understanding that sometimes your critics are right. And it doesn't matter who's delivering the message. So you could dismiss Jared Dudley and say he's not a superstar or he doesn't have 5 championships. But guess what you need to have an opinion? A mouth. That's all you need. Or social media. That's all you need.
Yep.
And so it doesn't lessen the message because it comes from Jared Dudley versus if it came from Michael Jordan. With that being said, he's right.
That's what I think too.
Because in the half court, it's about pace, but more importantly, it's about space. And what I mean by pace is your cuts, your post-ups, how you get into your offense because the defense is set, right? If you have one guy that can't make a free throw and won't attempt a jump shot, that makes you a liability in a lot of ways. I understand where he's coming from.
If you go into your mental Rolodex of all of the amazing plays that Ben Simmons has accomplished in the league, a lot of them are in transition. And also, when you watch the game, especially at the end of games, like he gets the ball, he drives the hole, he doesn't really look to finish, he's looking to kick it to somebody. Like, I think Jared Dudley's kind of right, and I think Ben Simmons knows that too.
And in today's game, like, I don't think average was a diss.
Oh, good point. Yeah, average?
He could have said below average, and I probably would have still agreed in half court. So, again, he's a young player. He and Embiid are young men. They're going to learn on the fly. Both of them missed their initial rookie seasons based on injuries. They're leading a basketball team for the second time in a long playoff run that they hope. They got expectations now with adding Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris. I get it. But there's a level of maturity that both of those guys are going to need to have if this process is going to turn into a championship.
Jalen, I'm glad you brought up his maturity because there's something surfaced about Ben Simmons. It has nothing to do with on-court behavior, but it's interesting nonetheless. He was asked about an incident in Orlando and missing a game, and let's just see how he handled it. Let's listen.
Ben, there was a story today in the New York Daily News that said you missed the Orlando game because you were out partying, and you haven't commented on it. I just wanted to get your reaction.
I'm not worried about, you talking about regular season?
Yeah, the most recent Orlando
game. We're talking about playoffs, man. Unless you want to talk about something else, somewhere else, but playoffs right
now. He didn't deny it.
He didn't say, nope, no way, it wasn't me.
He didn't say, who did that? Who said that?
So, Jalen, you're retired now. And I'm not talking about from the NBA. I'm talking about from Champaign and Campaign, okay? You're a retired Champaign and Campaign Hall of Fame member. Has this ever happened? Do players go out and then miss games the next night?
All I know is this. There's a team that I'm in the Hall of Fame for. I'm first team, okay, the Ben will never be. That's champagne and campaigning.
Yeah, you are. You might not be in the NBA Hall of Fame, but you're in the Champagne and Campaign Hall of Fame.
And here's the deal. Each player, just like anybody that has a normal job, profession, business, or whatever, there's certain people can function on less sleep.
Yeah.
There's certain people that can be out to wee hours of the morning and still get themselves ready to go perform the next day. Legendary NBA tales. Google all of the people that I put in the Champagne Campaign Hall of Fame. However, you can't have allegations surrounding your name that you missed a game because you was getting it in. There are a lot of players that have been in this league. Even if you can't go, you must go. Even if you don't feel like it. Even if you know you still even if you know you still hung over from the night before, you still got to find a way to put that uniform and go.
Another thing is, I don't think allegations like this just come out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And if he had a twisted ankle or if he had a day that he needed a rest, he would have just said it right there to those reporters. Like, this doesn't come out of nowhere.
And usually, you know how it works. People stare at their phone all day. So you already know that somebody knows. Once it gets to the New York Times.
New York Daily News.
Right. You know you're going to be asked about it.
Yes, good point.
So that was his prepared answer.
That's a good point because it's not like this reporter just brought it to his attention. If something like that is out in the world, someone's going to tweet at you. You're going to see it on social. Like, he knew that he was going to be asked about this, and his answer was, "Oh, we talking about that was a regular season? No, we're just talking about the playoffs right now." Come on, Ben Simmons. Come on, Ben Simmons. I don't believe you.